Man, look, man. Your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your...
Say, man, look at me. There is a guy out there that has been calling your name and wants to fight you. Your feud is not with Floyd Mayweather, who you are sitting here beefing with. As he gets ready to take on Artem Harutyunyan, Shakur Stevenson has finally discussed the beef between Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis. There has been a lot of talk, and with Davis, he said, "I'm not sure if I want to fight him. He's more of a defensive fighter. There's not enough action, and he might have just set himself up for another. You're sitting here fighting with Floyd about a feud with Gervonta Davis. There's a fighter out there that wants to fight you and has been calling your name. Gervonta Davis, let's get into a fight." In preparation for his fight this weekend, Shakur Stevenson gave fans some hints about what actually happened between Gervonta Davis and his former mentor Floyd Mayweather. Someone said something that scared someone else, saying, you defensive, and I don't want to get in a ring with you because you got great defense while the feud was still fresh." Shakur Stevenson entered the ring after one of his worst performances against Edwin De Los Santos last November. After making multiple promises, he promised his supporters to give it all when he fights this weekend. Shakur Stevenson was instructed by Mayweather to record a video in which he called out tanks. Following Mayweather's social media upload of the footage, many people concluded that Shakur Stevenson was just one of many boxers at Mayweather's disposal, who he could manipulate in any way he pleased. Jigan Tank D-Man, let's get in the battle. Let's get into a fight, guy. I'm tired of talking about it and tweeting about it. Stop avoiding me. Shakur Stevenson was therefore on Floyd Mayweather's side. You might wonder what exactly was his reward for performing so well. He was acknowledged as the most proficient boxer in the lightweight division by one of the greatest fighters of all time. Mercedes, we should save our money and put it into real estate so that when our professions are done, we can continue to enjoy wonderful lives. When asked which fighters he thought were the best in the lightweight division, Floyd said, "As of right now, well, the two guys, the biggest puncher I feel at 135 will probably be Gervonta Davis, but the most skilled fighter will be hands down Shakur Stevenson." Floyd said he wanted to fight the best fighters available, and he was wondering if he could fight the best because he thought his contract was about to expire. Bringing up Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Mayweather once likened his skill to that of Pernell Whitaker, who wasn't the best puncher but had the ability to defeat the best. "I believe his contract is about to expire, so maybe we can work together, and I can help him reach his goals of getting better and getting the fights he wants." Then they went on and carried on with Dan Tank. When Davis questioned him about whether his actions in the last few days demonstrated his lack of gratitude, he answered, "My thing is I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take Tank to that next level. I've always been there for him. Devin is as ungrateful when it comes to you. Well, my thing is I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion. Over the years, I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. But over the years, he's constantly going on the internet to take a shot at Floyd, constantly being disrespectful, when all I'd ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great." And he then referenced the famous video in which Dan Davis accused him of sending an attack. He denied Dan Davis's claims and explained his intention, saying a lot of times they like to compare certain fighters. And then I say certain things, and they say, oh, he's hating. There's no difference from when I talked about the thing with Gervonta. I need all fighters. I said I need all the young fighters that's making money in the sport of boxing. What I need you guys to do is do this, for instance, when I said that I need all the young fighters making money in the sport of boxing. And what I need you guys to do is do this, whether it's Chomet, Lewis, Mercedes, Gucci. We should invest our money in real estate so that we can continue to live amazing lives after our careers end. I suppose he took that to heart because, as far as I can tell, no one else wears Chomat, Louis Vuitton, or Mercedes. Fighters all over the world are dressed in high-end clothing that brings in a lot of money. And even those who don't manage to make a lot of money manage to fly jets and whips. Brother, it's Cromart Gucci. Louis Mercedes, when Mike Tyson referred to Isaac Cruz as the Mexican, he gave him this kind of acknowledgement. At his press conference, Mike Tyson discussed the conflict between Floyd and Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson called Gervonta Davis an idiot. He acknowledged that there had been a lot of discussion about Davis. He said, I don't know if I want to fight him. He continued, I think everything is about him. He also said, you don't do some things to those who raise you up. That's like a fool. You don't disrespect people. Stevenson also mentioned the video and how Davis claimed he was the one in it. Davis is so stupid and has a great defense that sounds like somebody scared of losing. This was back in April, a few days after Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney's major fight. Mayweather launched into a tirade directed at an unidentified group of boxers, criticizing them for not treating their trade with respect and instead concentrating on looking good in the ring. The athlete then used Floyd's career as a point of comparison, arguing that people are only looking at the finished product of who he is as an inspiration, rather than the work he put in to get there. You're looking at the interview, where you're going to look at the results. And Zav is going to tell you a lot of times what these fighters are looking at. They're looking at Floyd being flashy with the cars. Despite having hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank when I was the champion, Mayweather said, man, listen, I made so many sacrifices. You all are looking at the end results, and I was still on my grind in that gym. You all worry about your clothes and how your boots look. Many of you fighters are living paycheck to paycheck. You know that with me as the champion and me already having Davis, however, took Floyd's remarks as a jab at him and responded, tearing into his former mentor on Instagram and saying that Mayweather shouldn't be concerned about him and should instead be concentrating on getting out of a supposed hostage situation in Dubai. Davis then reposted Floyd's tirade and launched his brief attack, saying, Guy says all this nonsense, but he's in Dubai and can't leave because he's been taking guys' money and not doing what they paid him to do. The guy is a freaking hater. Davis typed a reply in music. The famous boxer responded to Floyd's initial comments on Friday, April 26, the very day after he made them. Floyd shared a video of Davis dancing zestily and claimed that Davis had some sugar in his system. Floyd